So today's video will be showing you how to use a UV spectrophotometer. So this one is the S1200 diode-arrayed spectrophotometer by Biochrome, and it is the simplest UV spectrophotometer that we have at Bond University. So it's the one that we use in all of the teaching labs. Okay, so we want to firstly make a measurement, a single wavelength measurement. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is you need to get a pasture pipette and a cuvette. Okay, so these ones are just the plastic pipettes for putting in your solutions. So the cuvette that we've got has got a smooth side and a rough side. So the rough side is where you hold on to it, and the smooth side is where the light passes through the solution. So when you look at the spectrophotometer, you'll see that there's an arrow here just below where you put the cuvette in, and it's pointing in this direction. So that's showing you that the light is passing through the solution in this orientation. So the first thing I want to do is fill up the cuvette with some water. Okay, so with this instrument here, you just need to fill the cuvette into the wider region. So it doesn't matter how far you do it. You obviously don't want to overfill it so you spill it into the instrument, but you want to have enough so that the beam goes through the solution. So in order to take a measurement, you need to firstly reference the instrument to the solution that your compound is made up in. So for this one that I'm doing today, I'm doing a copper sulfate solution, which you would have used in the lab skills experiment. So it's a stock solution of copper sulfate, so it's a nice blue one, and you're going to be referencing it to water. So we press R for reference and T for test. So we put in our water, making sure that the smooth side is on the arrow, so the beam's going through the smooth side. We put R for reference, and that's going to subtract the water. You'll see down here that you'll get some bars, and then when that's finished, that's done the measurement. So I'll press it again so you can see, and you can see the little RRR coming up, and then when that stopped, it's been referenced. And you'll notice the absorbance is 0. And the wavelength that is set at is 330 nanometers. If I want to change the wavelength, I can set the wavelength with this one here and just use the arrow functions to change it. So 330 is appropriate for this because it's just a demonstration. So what I'm going to do is use the same cuvette to minimize the error associated with our reading. So these are just plastic cuvettes that are mass produced. So each cuvette's going to have a different error. So if we use the same cuvette for all the measurements, then we're minimizing the error in the cuvettes. If I use a different cuvette for each measurement, I'm going to be having a lot of error in my measurements. Okay, so I'm just going to fill this cuvette up with my stock solution that I want to test. So it's a nice blue one there. So I'm putting it in, and then I press T for test, and again you can see the little bars going there, and it's finished, and it's given me an absorption value of 1.394. Okay, so this is a very concentrated solution, having above 1 absorbance. Okay, so that's how you make a measurement. The other thing that you may accidentally do is change from percentage transmittance to absorbance. So absorbance, and then if you've accidentally bumped it, you might see %T. So just to change between those two, you press this button here. Okay, so that's how you make a measurement. So remember, use the same cuvette, touching the side that's not smooth. Put the smooth side facing the arrow. When you do your reference, so when you've got your water in there, you press R for reference. When you've got your sample in there, you press T for test. when you're doing a series of solutions, it's best to start with your least concentrated solution and work your way up to your most concentrated solution. If you go the other way around and you start with your most concentrated solution, then there's going to be lots of contamination when you put in a less concentrated solution. So it's more advantageous for you to start with the least concentrated and work your way to the most concentration. Alternatively, you could rinse out the cuvette in between readings. Okay, so always tip it out, and you can tap it on some paper towel to make sure that you're getting all of it. And you can see it empties quite well. So there's not really much in there. There's probably like one drop. And if I was to tap that, then that would clear that up. So always pouring your solutions into your waste beaker. And yeah, that is all. Thank you for your attention.